Hey everyone, it's me Chris from Body Nova Fitness Coaching, and I'm here with the most common mistakes that people make when trying to complete their fitness transformation. So most of these, and people will do them over and over and over, and might not even be not conscious that they're doing them. But starting with the first one, all right, we we always like to think of how everyone is different, in their needs, in their fitness levels, in their lifestyle, and all that stuff. But you know, us in the fitness industry, and even people trying to pursue fitness, we always use the cookie cutter plan, and it's like, okay, well, it worked for so and so, so it's going to work for me, and not trying to take account for differences, just even differences between male and female, that can account for differences in rest periods and differences in time under tension. If it's nutrition, it could be someone who has higher body fat having needing to have a lower carb intake or a higher protein intake than someone who's the same weight but has a healthy body fat levels. So all these differences kind of play a role into how you can how well you do in your fitness program when you're trying to produce change, and how much change or how fast you can change. So you want to take these into account. And a lot of the things, I've had people hit up my clients and things like that, and they'll say, hey, I gave this same program out 150 times. I'm the greatest coach in the world. And it's like, really? You gave the same exact program out 150 times? And you had all the exact same fabulous results from all people? I can think of two people that I can give a program, one beginner and one advanced, and it could be great for one and disastrous for the other. So that makes me find this hard to believe, and it when people have promises of magical potions and magical programs, nutrition programs, magical foods, the differences being taken into account just shows you that they lack understanding. They say that everybody's different, but then they give the magic. They claim that one thing is going to be magical for everybody, and it's not going to be, that magic's not going to be able to be applied in the same way. So it's something you want to think about when you're doing when you're looking at the cookie cutter workout and nutrition programs. Because even differences in body composition could change that. Now, second would be bad advice from fake experts, okay? And that they go in with the first one because with the amount of information that we can get quickly, the bad guys know what the good guys look like, what they talk like. So what they try to do is they try to use all the phrases that the good guys use. Things like that, act like how the good guys act, but where the bad advice comes in, again, it's not understanding how the differences come in, and then later on, how to properly apply the variables. So, if you give two people the same rest period, let's say one weighs 200 and the other weighs 100 or 150, sorry, you could have two different responses just by the simple fact that that smaller person should be able to recover faster. Women recover faster than men. Bad experts, they only see the world as black and white, so they only see the world one way, so they can't understand that. They won't understand that they won't understand the differences or even the terms that they use, because, again, and I'm saying this because I wrote about it years ago, progressive overload, where you're finding a new way to shake the body up. The bad experts, who sell fitness programs, to everybody on Instagram, one of the things that they will do is they'll take that term and they'll say, yeah, I know progressive overload, but the way they'll use it it'll make you think that it's really like it literally says you're progressively overloading, which your only option is to add weight. There's 6 ways to progressive overload. Actually maybe 7, but and I talk about that in video. If you want, I'll send you the link. But you can increase density. You can lift more weight. You can perform more reps. You can so you can perform the reps slower or faster. For time under tension. You can change the exercises. There's a lot of different ways to apply progressive overload, and those experts only see the world as black and white. So that that is where a mistake can be made. So later I'm talking about consistency and patience. So when you're looking at that, you understand is you don't have to keep piling on weight. There's other ways that you can trick the body into giving you what it wants, make your body burn more calories without doing more work, creating more disturbances and things like that. They might also not know that you can make a lifestyle change, like reducing your stress and getting better sleep. That's going to be another way to do that. All right. So now, with relying on low quality supplements, and I get this a lot because people hit me up about supplements and they don't understand that I've literally been studying supplements longer than I've been studying exercise. So like since 1989, I've been looking and studying supplements. So they will say, hey, look at my product here. And it's like, look, this company is so great. 2 people have to sign for it. For the janitors can take a broom out of the closet or take a mop out of the closet to clean the floor because it's pharmaceutical, which is everybody for the most part. If you can't go around testing everybody, like I don't have the resources to do that, I assume that everybody has that. But here's the thing though. If you say best, and I've had people say best to me, okay, and I look at your label and you're saying whey concentrate, which is the cheapest and least effective of the whey proteins. If budget is no issue, and sometimes it is, and I understand that. If budget is no issue, you're not giving me the best, because at the end of the day, isolate and hydrolyzed whey proteins still give me a better benefit. Okay, so that's something that you need to think of. Flaxseed oil might be cheaper than fish oil, but if I'm looking for certain benefits, fish oil is going to be better. Other than just taking fat, fish oil is going to be better because the EPA and the DHA, which flaxseed oil, yes, it has omega-3s, but it doesn't have those important nutrients, which gives you those health benefits. Okay, so when you're going for lower quality, when you're taking stuff, you want to get the most benefit from it as possible, whether it's just a health benefit, whether it's metabolism boosting benefit, or whatever it is, you want to get the most. So I try to get the highest quality that I can get for my money. And if I'm making a choice between high quality and medium quality and it's close to the nearest same price, I'm always going high quality. But a lot of people don't know those differences. So if you guys ever don't recognize, have a problem with that, you can drop me a message, and if I need to, I'll make a video and I'll tell you exactly why. All right, might not be able to do it in a minute, but I'll tell you exactly why. And it's not going to be me, it's going to be science-based in most cases. All right. So the other thing is understanding the importance of quality sleep. All right, that's the 4th mistake on this list. And where the problem lies in with that is, if your stress levels go bad, your metabolism ultimately slows down. Okay, you have less testosterone, you feel more pain. So if you feel more pain, most people, when they start feeling that burn or that fatigue of that workout, if you start feeling it faster, you're quitting faster, or your brain wants to quit faster. So you're not going to be able to work as hard. All right, you're going to be tired, so you're not going to be able to work as hard. And even on top of that, you're going to be under more stress to fight over cravings, because when your sleep goes bad, guess what else picks up? Your cravings for the food, for high calorie, high sugar or high fatty foods, because you use that to kind of combat the stress, in a medicated fashion. So, underestimating your sleep is huge. Okay, so because most people think they're getting by, they're surviving, and I don't doubt their ability to survive, but in order to make head turning physique transformations, you don't want to survive. You want to thrive. Okay, so this is why sleep is more important. All right. Number 5. All right, and you might not be able to see these now, so I'm gonna throw this out there a little more. Your programs don't match the goals, because some people just think just because you perform resistance training, you're going to increase strength. Just because you are doing things that are labeled as HIIT, and if your heart rate isn't high enough, you're not doing HIIT. So if you're trying to gain muscle, and once you get a little bit of experience, like you might have to do 15 reps when you don't have a lot of experience, 15, 20 reps, but then eventually the best way to build muscle is between 6 and 12 reps for the most part. Programs have to match that. Strength 1 to 5. So your program should be reflective of the goals that you have. If you have a HIIT program and then eventually you get to where it's not high intensity for you more, you got to change something to make it high intensity again. So the program's got to match the goals, and sometimes those fake experts don't understand that. You know what I mean? So that's something that's really important. Because as long as your programs match your goals, you'll continue to make progress towards your transformation, your fitness transformation. All right. Last one is number 6. I have about 5 more. More change than you're ready for. So what that means is, again, this is a patience thing. So if your journey is going to take a while, you got 50 pounds a week, you're not 50 pounds of weight to lose. You're not going to get that 50 pounds lost in 90 days, in 8 weeks, 12 weeks, more than likely not even 16 weeks, because that's, that would be, 3 pounds a week consistently for 16 weeks. Very difficult unless your body fat's very high. So you want, if you have a long way to go, unless you're of that mind that can keep that, really, really aggressive programs, could create more stress. Remember, exercise, you feel good, but you need cortisol and adrenaline to get you going through that workout. So that way, it's still stress, okay? So if you introduce a high amount of stress, more than your body's ready to handle, it can be in problems, and you might not be able to stick to that program, or it just might be too much for you, and you don't make progress because your systems are overwhelmed. All right. Even nutritionally, if you're normally eating 3,000 calories a day, all right, and somebody says, hey, cut to 1,200 so we can drop weight fast, that's going to be a large stress to your system, because you've got an 1,800 calorie a day gap, and that's going to be large, and your body will try to protect itself. So it could do that by slowing down your metabolism. So now it gets harder for you to lose weight, or stress hormones increase, testosterone levels drop, so your overall well-being is going to get lower. Okay. So you might, instead of dropping from 3,000 to 1,200 or 3,000 to 1,500, it might just need to be 3,000 to 2,500. So that's another thing to think about. With these programs, especially if you get a cookie cutter program, they might say, hey, everyone that weighs 200 pounds, no matter of what their body fat is or what their activity levels are or whatever, we're going to say you need to be on 1,500 calories a day. And, that could create a problem. That could be a stressor. Or when you're getting on that program, you're doing well, you're going to get yourself in a place where you're stuck. And then if you get stuck, then you already went extreme, so you have to get more extreme and more extreme. And the lower that you go in calories, the more difficult it is to pack in enough nutrients, vitamins and minerals and things like that, to help you make the progress that you need to make. So to fuel the exercise, to get, to do the recovery, to help your body process, have normal process of functioning. All right, so that's the thing. You don't want to introduce too much change at once. And there's a psychological thing that goes in there too. So you have to be cognizant of that. All right. So now where we're going with the last few, number 7 is the same plan for too long. Okay. And, and that could even include the same variables. All right. So if you do something, and I knew someone that gave everyone, they were a HIIT expert, and they gave everyone the same program, where they had the same rest periods. Okay. Even if that was magical and everybody got what they want, the one thing you know about the body is the principle of exercise science is adaptability. Whatever you do to your body, with fitness, your body's going to adapt to it because it wants it to get easier. But if it gets easier, you burn less calories. Okay, so weight loss becomes a problem. Or if it gets easier, you don't break up as much muscle tissue, so your body doesn't have the need to rebuild muscle. So it makes it easier for you to do that activity because it doesn't care about your fitness goals. Okay, you're kind of running opposite to the way that your body works. So you have to keep that in mind. All right. So the same plan for too long. 1 to 2 months, worst case scenario. I usually stick more to a month, but with people who are less experienced, they don't adapt as fast. So you can keep that going 6 months, 6 weeks to 2 months. So that's something to think about. So my next one is they hit the panic button, and that's usually something that a bad expert would do. Okay, a fake expert, because they know. They know from hearing people, they know what they're talking about, they know how to sound like us, okay? So if we say, yeah, you need a calorie deficit, they'll say, yeah, you need a calorie deficit. Okay, well, you're at maintenance now, so you no longer have a calorie deficit. So what do? They give you a lot more exercise, they give you, and they drastically cut your calories, you know what I mean? Which, again, could be stressful. Just stressful as introducing more change at once, because you're asking your body to work more with less nutrients. All right. So what you want to do, one thing that you have to understand is there's 2 ways to create a calorie deficit. There's 2 ways to create a calorie surplus. Okay. So if you're talking weight loss, you can either increase activity, all right, or you can decrease food. You don't have to do both at the same time, and it doesn't always have to be 500 calories. Once you're going, it don't have to be 500 calories. It could be 100 to 200, because you just need to keep the ball rolling. You don't need to try to solve all your problems with one program in 1 month or 90 days. So think of it that way. They introduce too much they hit the panic button and change everything. Okay, and that same goes for when you're trying to gain muscle. Of course, you might need to do less activity, but then also you can change the nature of their lifting. You don't have to go straight, crazy with the calories, or stuff like that. You can change the nature of the lifting. You can go from high rep lifting with low rest, okay, as opposed to heavy lifting. You don't have to make your calorie surpluses always 500 calories, because a lot of people, that's asking a lot, and that will help them get fatter. So it could be, okay, 100 to 200, 100 to 200, or 200 to 300 rather, 200 to 300 each time. And you can wait till they plateau out and then then increase the calories more, and maybe so in the same ratio. So that's another thing to think about as you're doing that. I'll make a video on gaining muscle. There you go. All right. So the other thing, refeeds. All right. Some people think when it's diet, and I know you got all the people with the word die and stuff like that. I'm old school in that way, because diet to old school cats is just the way that you eat. Okay. So if I use that, don't try to kill me about that, but your diet, the way that your nutrition program, okay, so they get on this low carb, and they stay there too long, I usually keep somebody really low carb, no longer than 14 days. So even for some of you that go in keto, hitting a refeed, which is just maybe just a day you're just going higher calorie and you're higher carb. Remember, your thyroid needs those carbs to work, okay? To work efficiently, to work as most efficient. So if you have a refeed in there, a high carb refeed day, that gets your thyroid metabolism going again, burning high, burning fast. Sometimes if you do that refeed and you have enough carb, you might start feeling hot. Okay, that's the reason why. That's your metabolism running a little bit faster if you've honestly been low carbing, and doing it the right way and haven't been grossly cheating and things like that. So if you put those refeeds in the right place, you can help boost your metabolism and get more fat loss. All right. All right. So we are down to number 10. All right. So, and you've heard me say this before, trying to cardio your problems away. You cheated. So I'm just going to do 1 hour, 2 hours of cardio away every day. Cardio, cardio, cardio. Have a problem today, cardio it away. You can't do that. All right. And because remember, your body's not a machine. So whatever work that you do, you have to recover from. All right. So, and if you're trying to do HIIT, if you're doing HIIT right, there's going to be a point where you can't, there's only so much you'll be able to do and keep it high intensity. I had people where I've told them, hey, I did an hour of HIIT. I did a 4-minute sprint. No, you can't sprint for 4 minutes. I don't give a damn. I ran the 400, okay? My best time, 48 seconds, all right? I could not even sprint the freaking 400, the whole 400. And I was in better shape than most of these cats you run across. World-class sprinters, they all hit the wall. And it's usually somewhere around 30, 40 seconds. You might even, well, not world-class. Most people are going to hit that wall 30, 40 seconds. World-class, it might be 50. They might push it to a minute. But yet nobody's sprinting all out for no 40 seconds. So, so if you're going longer, you're at lower intensity. And if you're trying to use HIIT, you're not going to get those benefits. So you can't cardio your problems away. There's only going to be so much you're able to do. And if you eat too much, there's only going to be so many calories you're going to be able to burn in a session. So that's something to think about. You cannot cardio your problems away. And last, but definitely not least, consistency and patience. Remember, hitting that panic button will get you nowhere. It could create more problems longer down the line. You just have to be, hey, I'm only losing a pound a week or 2 pounds a week. And you just have to wait it out. And if you got that vacation and you think you're going to lose 25 pounds, you might need 12 to 25 weeks to get there if everything goes perfect. So you want to have the patience so you don't overwhelm your body, and most of your losses come from fat. So you'll look good when you have that muscle underneath. If you're losing fat and muscle, you're going to make your journey longer because you're going to have to lose more weight to get the look that you want. So those are things that you got to think about when you're trying to make your fitness transformation. And if you guys have any questions on this, definitely feel free to inbox me.